She's
Hey,
like,
this might be a thing. Yeah, this might be a
I
thing.
know. I
Yeah,
think I'm missing my calling.
I mean, Mela, they need sales.
Yeah,
So
they
yeah, you might
do.
have to.
I do the sales actually.
Oh,
For
you do?
Mela.
Okay,
Yeah, sales
okay.
and partnership
You and
is
your
me.
calling. That's great.
Yeah, so now I'm like fine. I
Okay.
guess.
So I guess.
Yeah, that was the funniest. I don't remember interviewing. I had a meeting with a recruiter, like a
Yeah.
lunch. She was like, "Oh, let's do lunch." I was like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah.
But I think it's the go-getter stuff, right? Like, so
Yeah.
what happened was I still was not like, oh, Macy's is definitely going to work because you never know.
Right.
So I was still like applying and interviewing. And I went to like a market AMA, like American Marketing Association. I was like part of all these organizations.
Okay.
I went to that and I met a girl from like a different school that knew somebody that was in Salesforce in SF. I was like, bet, connect me.
Yeah.
She connected me. I told her and I'm interested. And then I was like, oh, I'm actually going to be in San Francisco in like 2 weeks. I wasn't even planning on being there. I was just like, yeah, like I had other interviews, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
We would love to meet you for coffee or whatever. She's like, let's do lunch. We did lunch. And then she came back with, she was like, well, we want to give you a sales role. And I was like, ma'am, Miss Ma'am. But I think that also, you know, again, it goes back to like, what is it? Opportunity meets preparation, right? Like I'm aligning myself. I'm not just sitting at home saying, oh, I want this. And I'm so shocked she said sales, but you know, if that's what she wants to do.
Hey, what up, fam? This is Sar Levy, host of Africans in Tech. We're building bridges and shaping futures in tech. On my pod today, it's been like 10 years since she decided to do the pod, but we got Lily on the pod. Lily, I'm so glad that you are on the pod. I know that we've kind of missed each other on scheduling, but thank you so much for being on the pod.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Well, you should be, because you've made us wait for so long.
I know. It's like you gotta, you know, you gotta make them wait.
So what I usually ask people, just tell me a bit about themselves. Nothing technical, just who you are, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So a little bit about myself. My name is Andemariam. I am currently one of the founders of a company called Mela Ai. Mela Ai is an AI life coach and community app, and we actually just launched in the App Store. So I'm very excited about that.
Nice.
Prior to that, so I started my career at Macy's, right? Prior to Macy's, I started my career at Dell.
Okay.
Or EMC Square, rather. That got bought out by Dell as a salesperson and like tech sales. Ultimately, I did a co-op for like 4 months there.
Okay.
And I really wanted to be in marketing because my degree was in marketing, finance, and international business.
Gotcha.
And I really wanted to be in marketing, and I didn't get a marketing rotation role. So I was like, I'm not going to take this job unless, you know, I get that.
Yeah.
Then Macy's came and they had a rotational program that could potentially allow me to rotate through marketing.
Okay.
So I was at Macy's for approximately like 6 years, I think. So I've done sales for them. I've done marketing, strategy, like CX stuff. And then after that, I was actually out in San Francisco. I moved from Ohio to SF.
Okay.
And then after about 2 years in SF with Macy's, I decided to move to a company called Uniqlo.
Okay.
Innovation, like it's a global innovation center. I love their product. So for anybody who doesn't know Uniqlo, like you should definitely go buy their product.
Is that the one you told me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did that, and then I did innovation product management for them, then
Okay.
mobile product management. That was really like one of my fun roles, especially the innovation role.
Okay.
And unfortunately, the office closed and I was laid off, and it was either move to New York or like find another job in a city in SF. And I decided, why don't I, like, my best friend actually was in Atlanta, one of my best friends. And she was like, why don't you just come here and live with me for free? And then I was like, yeah, I'm going to come. You know, it's like when you're spending so much money on somebody tells you free mortgage or free rent, you're going to come. So I came. Yeah. I actually had a business with my brother where we made websites and apps, did that for a little bit. Okay. We closed shop and I went to Delta. I joined Delta as a senior PM. I spent about 2 years with them. Then COVID happened. Then I was laid off again because everybody else was. Yeah. And then I started another company called Product South, which was actually to help people break into tech. I did that for a little over 2 years or so. It wasn't profitable enough to live off of it. So both my past co-founder and I ended up going back. We both went back to Delta, actually. Okay. So I went to Delta as a group product manager where I managed a team of PMs and senior PMs. Okay. And then in that is where while in that role is when I burned out and I took a leave. And gotcha. Then when I came back from my leave, everything I learned as part of like my burnout recovery and stuff, I packaged that up to be what Mela is now today.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
Yeah.
So you're going to go back and laugh at this because I think I literally was like, Tell me a bit about yourself. Nothing about what you do.
Oh, you said that?
Yeah.
Oh, I know a bit about myself.
She gave me the whole rundown.
Oh my God, I thought you meant about like my job.
No, just about yourself. So you're from where?
I'm from Ethiopia.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your parents, they live here or they back there?
They live in America, yeah.
Okay. How many siblings?
I have two.
Two?
Oh my
Okay,
God. I'm
it's
like,
like,
I was like, how many is it? Let me check. I have two siblings.
Okay.
Okay.
Are they both here as well?
Yeah, my whole family is here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My immediate family.
Are they in tech also?
My brother's in tech.
Okay.
My sister is in operations, so she manages stores.
All right. And then you're where? Like youngest, middle?
I am the youngest of three.
Okay. Were you spoiled?
No, I don't think so. I just want to look at the camera. I said
She was spoiled.
I was not spoiled at all. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so because I worked since I was like 14.
Okay.
And I've been very like, I guess financially very independent for a long time. And I feel like, it's not because like my parents couldn't do it for me or whatever. I just chose that. Like, I'm like, oh, I got it. Like, it's cool.
Yeah.
And I feel like that doesn't describe spoil.
Yeah, no, that's true. I think if you're, well, I guess you could still be hardworking and spoiled, but we'll give you the benefit of that.
I was like that. I think I'm spoiled more in my like relationships.
Gotcha.
Like when I'm in a relationship, I'm probably like that's where my spoiledness comes in, not necessarily like regular life. No.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So at 14, what were you doing? Because you said you were working.
I was.
I'm like, what were you doing? I was like, what are you?
No, I started as a bagger at Kroger.
Okay.
I think back then it was like, I don't know, it was like $5 something that we were getting paid.
Okay.
And then I was pushing, so I like you would have to push carts into the store. And I'm very competitive, and I would compete with like the boys, right?
Who could push the most carts?
Yeah, I literally would, right?
Okay.
And so, so I tried to push like I don't know. Back then it was like 11 or 13 carts. I just remember felt like it was a lot for me, you know. And I was way smaller. Like this is me big, you know.
Yeah.
I'm probably like 30 pounds lighter back then, you know.
Okay.
And so I'm just doing that with my little whatever. And then the store manager came and he asked me if I actually wanted to be a cashier.
Gotcha.
I think he saw me as a liability. He's like, she might break. Like, I don't think this is healthy. And then I became a cashier. And so I did that throughout like high school and stuff. Then when I went to college, I worked there. I worked at Amazon. I worked on campus. Like there was a point I had like literally 3 majors, 3 jobs, and like 8 organizations I was leading.
Hold on, 3 majors?
Yeah.
In school?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you were like triple major?
Yeah.
Ooh,
so,
okay. What'd you triple major in?
Or degrees, I guess. So I did marketing, finance, and international business. So I don't know if they're considered separate.
Yeah, they're still, in relation.
It's 3 majors, but I don't think they're considered 3 degrees. I don't know.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
Okay.
So I don't think I'm spoiled.
No, well,
I just want to prove a point here.
We'll find out as we continue.
I feel like you should be like in the comments. Was she spoiled?
I guess. What do you think, bro?
It's not giving spoil. I don't. In the comments.
Cool. So at 14, did you decide to do that on your own, or was it like your parents pushing you to kind of work?
No, my dad actually said he will pay me. It's so funny looking back, you know, you have like moments you'd be like, wow, I was so stupid, you know. I wasn't stupid. I was
defiant or like, you know,
like
strong-willed, whatever.
And so we you know, like in a traditional household, it's very much like you go to school, you come home,
right?
Like I was not in a household where you like how do you say you sneak out and stuff. Like that's not it. Not in this household, you know. There's no sleeping over friends' house. We don't have that kind of like upbringing. So it's very much like you have school, I played soccer, you know, like we'll go practice, whatever, you know, that's it. And then you come home. You're at home or you're in school, like, or you're at the family's gathering or whatever. And so for me, it was just an outlet. I was like, oh, I just want to go do something else, you know?
Gotcha.
And then...
where was this at? What state?
In Ohio.
Ohio, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Were there a lot of Ethiopians in Ohio?
Yeah.
There was a lot, okay.
I lived in Cincinnati, so there was enough. Like I have had enough friends and like, you know, people around that are Habesha.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So Habesha, explain like what?
Like Ethiopian or Eritrean people.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Is there a distinction? What's like if you're not Habesha, what's the distinction?
If you're not Habesha, you're not Ethiopian or Eritrean. You could be
okay.
anything else in Africa or the world. You pick.
Gotcha. So okay, I'm being educated as we speak. So that's good.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Cool. I learned something new. Okay. All right. So You were in a pretty big Ethiopian community. Would you interact? Well, let me not say big.
Yeah.
How big was it if you were?
I think it was decent size. I think for me, like when I first came to America, I went to an international school.
Okay.
So I was around foreigners, but not Habesha people. Like
Gotcha.
my cousins who are Asian, they were like the only people that I remember. Maybe one or two other people that were like Eritrean that I knew.
Okay.
But I grew up around foreigners, like non-Habesha foreigners. So, like Senegalese people and me. That's sort of like my favorite people.
Okay.
Yeah. So one of my first best friend in the U.S. was Senegalese. So I grew up around Senegalese, Russian, Bulgarian, Colombian, you name it. Like all type of it's called AWL.
Gotcha.
It's like Academy World Language, I think is what it stood for.
Okay.
And so I grew up around that. In high school, also I went to an international school, so I grew up around other like foreigners.
Gotcha.
And then that's when in high school is when I started actually making Habesha friends.
Gotcha.
And then those friends continued because we all went to college together.
Gotcha.
And that's where my like, I don't know, community of Habesha people came. But for me, I just been around foreigners.
Gotcha.
It's actually weird for me to be around Americans because I'm like around Americans, especially in Atlanta.
Yeah.
But I'm more accustomed to be around foreigners.
Gotcha.
Which is so funny. Like I still have an accent because nobody told me how to speak like an American. 20-something years in this country.
What age did you come here?
No, but I would say I've been here 26 years.
Okay. She's not giving up the details.
I'm not doing it.
Okay.
You're asking for PII data at this point. Let me stop even answering.
The internet will investigate. They'll figure it out.
They will. Yeah. I'm sure they will. They just want to tell.
All right, so you were in school for a bit. What did you do, like international school? Was it a little bit different, like in terms of like learning and did you go to public school at all, or was it just straight? I went
to public school, but it had an international side to it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I went to public school. I think UC is also a public school. I went to public school throughout the whole. Like I never went to private school.
Okay.
I only went to private school in Ethiopia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Mm-hmm. So the international school here was a public school. Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was just gonna ask like what the difference curriculum wise, if there's anything you feel like you learned there that.
I think literally learning ASL, like English as a second language, is like a huge part of it.
Gotcha.
I don't think the curriculum was different. I think it's whom I was learning with is what was different.
Gotcha.
So I grew up in a very like inclusive space.
Okay.
And so now I think I exist slightly differently than maybe somebody who didn't grow up with so many foreigners. Like when I tell you like all kind of like Jordan, Moroccan, like Afghan, you name it. Like
wow.
That
is really intentional.
But I think it's if you were to be like, it's like the most beautiful part of my upbringing was that, and that and my mom making homemade food.
Yeah.
If you're like, what did it? Like, I wish that I can give that for my future kids. It's like be around people who are different from you, learn from them, and then eat home cooked meal because it's so good for you.
What was like the drive then? Because one of the things that happens to a lot of us immigrants or have immigrant parents is they have to sacrifice a lot, like you said. Was there sort of like a driving factor when it came to like career, like picking out like what you wanted to do?
So going into college, there wasn't any like anything I was like, oh, I must do. Like I wanted to be a mechanic engineer. I wanted to be a brain surgeon.
Okay.
And then go into psychology. And my dad is like, you're not going to go to be a psychiatrist or whatever because it takes so long.
Gotcha.
He wanted me to go into finance and econ.
Okay.
Because they were in business in Ethiopia and like that's what they're accustomed to,
Gotcha.
So I didn't really get like too push even though now I look back and I really wish I did econ, honestly. Okay. And I still like, especially as a founder, I still try to like learn and stuff and grow. But the drive was, I would imagine it's the same for any foreign person, right? Gotcha. Like I saw my parents giving up everything to come to this country for me to have an ounce of an opportunity, and so I had to capitalize on that. There was like a chip on my shoulder until like 2 years ago, honestly. It's then when we were like sitting down and then I realized I was like, I think I'm okay now. Like I think if they're not proud now or if they don't feel like it was worth the sacrifice, that's on them. Maybe they need to do the soul searching, It's like, I think I'm good now. Yeah.
No, you're right. I think even me, like there's definitely a chip. I don't know if I still have it, to be honest. I got to do some more introspection there, but looking at my parents, like especially my mom, my mom sacrificed a lot. So always want to get back because my dad worked like random jobs. He did taxi. He did like cooking. Like he did a whole bunch of other stuff, and then eventually landed with the military. But I think for me, kind of want to give back, especially for my mom because she was there a lot. Grew up in a semi-broken home, but seeing how much she sacrificed, was like, all right, I want to give back, and I didn't take into account how much that drove me until like I was like, okay, why did I want to like do so well?
Yeah.
And it wasn't just because of my family immediate. It was also like I would like to be able to do XYZ things for my mom. So that's why I asked that.
Yeah, I think a lot of kids feel that regardless of ethnicity and all of these things. But I definitely would go as far as saying a lot of foreign kids feel that. Because you can see the sacrifice. It's not just like, oh, my mom is working hard.
Right.
No, I saw her leaving her friends, her family.
Exactly.
And I know why. It wasn't, even if I was younger, I still knew. I was like, oh man, you can't be around like a mama, which is like mom. Like, you can't be around your mom. You can't be around your dad, like your sisters. Yeah. It's just us and like dad and like, his brothers were here, but like, it's just us now, Yep. Because she was so close, especially to her sisters.
Yeah, so. It's a lot. Yeah, and grateful for all parents that sacrifice. Because you're called to do it, but then when you actually have to do it, it's still tough.
Yeah, so, I could because you have kids, so I can imagine. You know this very well.
Yeah. I haven't had to sacrifice as much just because I think my parents, just come back to them. They've done a lot, so they've put me on a nice.
Like starting point.
Yeah, starting point where now I don't have to do necessarily as much. And I like to kind of reciprocate that for my kids. So, yeah. Okay. So college, where'd you go to school?
University of Cincinnati. Okay. I don't want to answer some of these questions.
Okay.
Because I really think they are PII.
So University of something. All right.
Yeah. I went to UC in Cincinnati, Ohio.
How'd you like it?
It was cool. I didn't really... I don't think I like enjoyed college.
Okay.
I say this, and then my friends are like, "You literally were enjoying it." I was like, "It was not giving enjoyment to me."
Why not? Why do you think you didn't enjoy it?
Because I went to school. This is where I'm gonna age myself. I went to school around the time where people were graduating, and it was the 2008 crisis.
Okay.
And so I was seeing people people I am seeing to be very smart, have good GPA and stuff coming out, and they're not getting jobs. And I immediately was like, that's when I was like, oh, I have to add additional degrees, and I had to do international for studies and all of these things. And then I have to, I went into this like drive of like, I must do a lot because I have to stand out when I graduate.
Right.
Like I don't do well with like, I don't know if it's not necessarily failure. Like I truly believe that luck is when opportunity meets preparation. And so I don't do well with regret.
Okay.
Right. And so like if I can already see what can come and I don't do nothing to potentially prevent.
Yeah.
If I do and then I still don't get the job, like so be it,
Right.
So it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
But I just can't mentally be okay with like knowing what can happen if I don't take these 3 steps.
Right.
Right. And so once I saw my friends graduating or like people who are older than me graduating, I just want to make it a point. Unnecessary.
It's not me.
No, not me. Other people. And when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, snap!" Because I know she's so smart. I know her GPA. I know what she's done. So if she's not getting these jobs, then I must do so much more. And so to me, college was not like rah. To me, it was like, no, I gotta like get my stuff together and make sure I make it, and I make it really well. Like I wanted to come out and have offers.
Gotcha.
I didn't want to just be like, oh, I'm just gonna be stuck at this job. You know.
Okay.
Until my last semester. I don't even know what I went to school for that last semester, honestly.
Yeah, the last semester, no one like really cares. I was like, all right, let me just, I'm ready to walk.
I'm just trying to maintain so my GPA doesn't drop too much, but that's it.
Yep.
And so,
Okay. Yeah. Did you ever think about like going to like grad school?
Mm-hmm,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wanted to go to grad school, but only if I got into like the Ivy League schools.
Okay.
And so I learned about this program called MLT, like Management Leadership for Tomorrow, which is a great program. I knew people that went to school with me that like went through that and got to like the Columbias and Wharton and you name it, like Stanford's and this world, Harvard's and stuff. And I thought like, if I'm not doing that, then because I would have to pay for it.
Okay.
And I just didn't want to pay. I had scholarships and grants for undergrad.
Gotcha.
I only took out like I think like 11K
Oh, wow.
loan.
That's good.
And that's
Yeah.
also because I did a study abroad for 2 months or so in
Gotcha.
Chile.
Yeah.
And I was just spending money. Like I didn't even need to do it. Because mind you, I worked, I had 3
Yeah.
jobs in college.
Yeah.
So, and so I was like, no, I'm not about to pay like thousands and thousands of dollars when I don't know.
Gotcha.
I didn't see the value of going to get your MBA unless you do from really a top school.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. So once you graduated, like, what was like your destination?
From
Like job wise.
like what did I want and what happened?
Yep.
What I wanted was to get a marketing role.
Okay.
I was like, if I get a marketing role, my goal was like to be like the CMO of a global company. That was like what was in my head. I was like, yeah.
That was your goal
back then.
Okay.
Yeah, back then that was my goal. And so, but then, when I was interviewing and stuff, so the way I got my internship, I just like went to a career fair.
Okay.
They already hired for everything. She told me sales, and I was asking for like a marketing role. She said no. I said finance. She said no. I said, well, international business. Like, I'm like, ma'am, I have all the degrees. Like, what is it that you want? Give me a job.
Yeah.
She was like, all of those are filled. The only thing that's open is sales. I was like, I'll be great at sales. I had no idea what it meant, honestly. And to be honest with you, I hated sales.
Yeah.
Like, I looked at sales as like car salesman.
Gotcha.
Like using people. You're, especially vulnerable people, all of these things. So I had a really bad idea of what a salesperson is.
Yeah.
So that was like my first co-op. And then after that, I was like, oh no, I really want to go into marketing. Because I did a little bit of social media marketing for them as well.
Gotcha.
But when I graduated, I ended up getting a couple of different offers. So I keep getting sales offers, which I was just like, please stop. Like, this is not, And then Macy's came with a rotational program offer. I think it was like, I had an offer from Sprint, from Macy's, from EMC Square. I feel like there were 2 more.
Okay.
And then for some reason I wanted the Sprint one, and then I went back and forth with them. And then when Macy's came with the package they came, I was like, it's okay. Macy's is a good company. My mom loved shopping at Macy's. It's like our thing. So I was like, I'll like go.
Like a benefits package, you mean? Or you just talking about just salary?
The salary and
Gotcha.
just overall their package is like better than but it's a rotational program. That was what was important to me.
Gotcha.
That coming out of college, instead of being stuck with one job, being able to hop around every 6 to 9 months. I think theirs was like 3 rotation. I think we did.
Gotcha.
And my brother went to GE. He did GE's rotational program.
Okay.
And I just saw how great that was for his career.
General Electric.
General, yeah.
Okay.
And so I was like, yeah, no, I'll take a rotational program. It was between EMC Square. Sorry, it was between EMC Square and Macy's.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. All right. So you said you went with Macy's, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How long were you with Macy's rotation program?
The rotation was 3 years, I believe, in total. So so I did a rotation, and then my second rotation was in sales. I am telling you, I will even tell you more stories about sales than me. I think if Mela doesn't work, I might just do sales because I don't know what's going on here. So they rotated me through sales. My team did so well that they actually like kept me for my last rotation, and they know this. Where do I look? Over there? They know this. I did not want to be there in my last rotation, but my team was so amazing. So I managed the team of I want to say like somewhere between 40 to 50 people.
Okay.
But mind you, this is like 23, 24 years old.
Okay.
I don't even know what they saw me, but like the team did so well. Like I just had the best team. And then after that, I went to a role called CX, Customer Experience.
Okay.
That one was one of my favorite. It was very data driven, even though I don't think I'm as data driven as I could be personally, just full transparency.
Okay.
But I work with like the data sciences team and like other departments to ultimately figure out like, as part of the user's journey, where are opportunity areas, and then coming up with ideas on how to fix it.
Okay.
And I just thought, even now, I think that's a sexy job. I'm like, you want me to identify problems and tell you how to fix it? Like, yeah, I can do that. But but I don't have to stick around. Like, it's giving consulting almost.
Yeah.
I did that for them, and then I went to San Francisco to join the CRM team, Customer Relationship Management.
Okay.
And then with that team for about 2 years, I did.
So you literally moved, right?
Literally moved to San Francisco, yeah.
Okay. How was that?
How was it?
Yeah.
It was great.
Okay.
I highly, I wish that I moved earlier, in my age and my career.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I was only 4 years into my career when I moved. So it still helped spike my, I didn't do a high spike, but I did some spike for my career.
Did they do COL location, like relocation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So they adjusted that.
Yeah, they
Okay.
yeah. So it's a completely different role. So the thing about that one, because I came into this is another reason, I don't know, I would imagine similarly now, right? It was rotational program, they invest a lot in you. They develop you. So I think even my career growth and just how much more professional I am or how well I've done in my career may have contributed to how much the Macy's team poured into me at such a young career age.
Gotcha.
Right? It's
Gotcha.
like being able to, like, we're presenting to C-suites when we're like 22. And
Oh,
so
wow. Yeah.
and you have to be very polished in order to do that. And so
Yeah.
I think even though I didn't go into get my MBA, I think that rotational program really helped me level up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so by the time I go into other companies, even though I'm going in with my peers, I can kind of stand out a bit, right?
Right.
What also was helpful with my move to San Francisco was, because they focus so much on developing us and they want to retain us, they're okay with us going to different departments in the company. They just don't want us to leave.
Gotcha.
Right. And so they made sure, like, one of my executive sponsor was the second top person in HR at Macy's at that time.
Wow.
So he was able to call people in New York who called people in SF to say, hey, I think this person is great. Here is her resume. Find her a job.
Wow.
Instead of me going and applying. And,
Yeah.
I still did that too, of course.
Yeah.
Right. So that's such a privilege that I wouldn't have had
Yep.
if I didn't go into a rotational program and they actually cared and all of these things. And so
Yeah.
those are the luck that I talk about, right? I prepared so much in college that I was lucky enough to get this job, because I'm sure there are other smart people who could have got that job. Right. And then we did an innovation. This was another favorite of mine. We did an innovation competition. I mentioned earlier, I'm very competitive. And so when we did that, it was out of hundreds of managers, we all pitch in ideas, and then you keep passing. If they pick you, then you pass. So my idea was one of the top 28 that got to present to the C-suite.
Okay.
And then it was number 3. And so because of that, I'm also engaging with the top leaders at the company, right? And so that's what I mean when if I can give people any advice, is prepare yourself for whatever it is to come.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what's going to come. Whatever it is that you want, if you do the work for it, you'll be surprised how lucky you'll be. And there'll be somebody who's going to know somebody who, who's going to get you to that level. And so I was lucky enough to have him and other people at Macy's who believed in me enough to advocate for me to go to SF, because I didn't even know it was that competitive to get into the .com side.
Yeah.
I honestly, when I tell you I'm lucky, I'm just lucky. I'm just out here. I try stuff, and then people are like, oh, she's trying. Let me help her a little bit,
But you were prepared too, though. I mean, you
Yeah.
talked about that where, one thing is pure luck where, you don't do anything. But I think, like you said, preparation meets opportunity. I think, the fact that you were getting yourself ready, that if the opportunity does come, you can capitalize on it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who are smart, but they don't take the initiative to kind of get ready. I think that it speaks volumes. So
thank you.
You were deserving of that. So even though I hate to say it, but you were,
I know you hate to say it. I know you hate to say it. I know.
you were deserving of that.
He's
a
like,
little bit.
I must admit, I guess you did well for yourself, whatever.
But that's good though.
Such a hater. They say, there's a saying in my language, the enemy is not too far.
I don't know. I don't know that
No,
saying.
I'm telling you.
That is not a saying.
And I'm alat karuk aidalam. They know. They're going to know what I mean.
Okay. All right. Another thing you mentioned was networking piece. We talk about this a lot, your network is your net worth and all that other jazz. The fact that you're around those individuals and capitalizing on that. For any of you who are in the Bay Area or in one of those high tech regions where you're networking with I won't say high value because that's it's subjective.
Don't say that.
Yeah, that's subjective.
Don't say that right now.
It's if you're with individuals that are in the top whatever percent of your company, leverage those relationships, and leverage them very quickly, because you never know how things can change. And you did that, you were able to connect with the person that's second tier. I think you said in HR, right?
Yeah.
And Macy's, and they were able to kind of make shots or make calls, which ended up getting you more opportunities.
Yeah.
And that's something that you leverage. It's not just, I'm working at this company, I have this great opportunity, and let me just kind of coast. It's no.
No, I don't. I don't do well with coasting.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Yeah.
So we'll get to that, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes you need to chill.
Oh, we did a thing about that, didn't we?
Yeah, we did a whole panel. You were there. Do we need to bring it back? You didn't learn your lesson.
Okay, so what happened post post San Fran?
Post San Fran. So with Macy's, I was there for 2 years, and then I went to Uniqlo. I think that
Okay.
that so I
Why'd you
did
leave?
because I wanted to be more specifically focused on product management.
Okay.
So I've touched on product stuff, different parts of my Macy's career,
Gotcha.
but it wasn't like my full responsibility.
Okay.
And I wanted that because by the time I was in SF, I saw how big tech was.
Gotcha.
Like, oh my God. I mean, I don't even think like, I mean, now I think we all see it, but back then, when you're in, I think Ohio, Cincinnati is like a tier 3 city.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't even know. But mind you, my brother was a developer, so
Yeah,
I should have known better,
Yeah.
But that's when I saw, I was like, what is this? Like, I noticed like people, product management program, this, that process. I said, who are you people?
Yeah.
And why are they giving you all the money?
Yeah.
Like, this is cute,
It's cute.
It's as soon as I think something is cute or sexy, I'm like, well, I gotta go do this now,
Yeah.
And so I was actually, it's funny because I almost don't want to tell the story, but I will because it's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I was dating a guy who was in UX, and I just remember one time he was on a call, and like he was on a call and stuff, and I walked by and like there was a person I heard on a call that was like low-key giving like boss energy, you know? And this man had an accent, so it's like, like hella bossy, but like also I'm like, where are you from? But also, what is your job? Like I was, confused.
Yeah.
And then I was like, who is this person? Like, how is he? Because he's just owning everything. He's like, no, we need to do this, and this is what's right for the customer, and this is how we're going to measure success. And then I was just like, oh my God, like, what is this? This is cute. And then he tells me, he's like, oh, he's the product manager.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then as soon as he said that, I think I started seeing product managers everywhere. Because it's like you buy a white car, all of a sudden you see white cars,
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, like one of my mentor, who actually used to be in Cincinnati in Macy's, who also went to Macy's in SF, he was like, he moved into product, and then I'm like, wait, no, he moved into product from this other, like I'm starting to see all these people with these titles.
Yep.
And so then I think I went and talked to him. Of course, I've done my research and stuff, and I went and talked to him, and then he told me, he was like, it's a really hard role. And yes, it pays well, but it's really hard role. So if you're going to do it, don't do it for the money.
Yeah.
Because it's not worth it. The money is literally not worth for the work that you're going to do as a product person.
Gotcha.
It might be for the first, like as an associate or an assistant, when you're coming in and you're like, oh, they're giving me a cute 80 to 100K, 120, depending on where you are in the company and all of these things. Like you're like, this is cute. Yeah, I like it. The work is hard. The real work is really hard.
Yep. I agree.
And so I was just like, okay, like, I was like, yeah, I take him seriously because I know that he cares about me and he meant well.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, like, but all the stuff sounds sexy. Like, I got to figure this out,
Yeah.
So I started doing research, and then there were other people within Macy's I met that were in product. They're telling me stuff, and I showed them about that innovation project I did in the previous Macy's role. And then they were like, okay, there's something here. You have the mindset, but I still didn't get it. I was like, I don't know. Okay, so like you're telling me I got it, but I don't get it.
Yeah.
So I ended up going to get a certification in product management at, oh my God, what is it called? General Assembly.
Okay.
So in SF, in a city, they hire, a lot of companies hired from General Assembly. And my friend, I was telling the guy I was dating, he also went there to do the UX UI as well. Mind you, on top of his like degree, and I think he has a master's in everything, just to be an expert in like this specific skill, right?
Gotcha.
So when I went there, I was like, oh, then I started seeing what people meant. Like, no, you have this already in you. So the being focused on your customer, being solution oriented, coming up with creative ideas, the marketing side, using data to make decisions, all of these things I had. What I didn't have is a technical aspect.
Okay.
Like the creative eye, all of that I did. The technical aspect, I had no idea what was going on. And that's, so then I started, I did the certification, and then right after the certification, Uniqlo reached out to me for a role, which ended up later on being an innovation product management role.
Okay.
And so then I formally went into product.
Okay. And this was in San Fran too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long did you...
San Fran and New York, so I was bi-coastal.
Okay. So it's a traveling role?
Yeah. I traveled a lot too. We all did, the whole team, yeah.
Okay. Did you travel with the Macy's role too?
A little bit, not throughout the whole time I was there. Yeah, I have, but not as much as I did with the Uniqlo one.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I was going to ask if that introduced anything different, but I guess it did a little bit. Was that difficult for you?
At first it was so much fun because you're young and you're bi-coastal and you're like, oh my God, I get to kind of live in,
Right.
It gets old real fast. It hits, because so Uniqlo is a Japanese company. And then majority of the team is in New York. The U.S. headquarters in New York, but the Global Innovation Center was in SF.
Okay.
So we're like a team of 25 people in the SF office.
Gotcha.
Oh man, some of the smartest people I ever worked with, you know, like my director, I'm not going to name names because she knows who she is because I always tell her this. Yeah. One of the best people I worked under, so smart. I learned so much from her. Funny enough, majority of the people also got their MBA from an Ivy League school. Okay. So I'm one of like, I think 3 people who doesn't even either have an MBA or doesn't have an MBA from an Ivy League school. Yeah. So half the time I was like, oh my God, you guys are so smart. Like I loved it. Like it was such a great team. And so, but the New York one is like so much bigger. It's like, I don't even know how many people were there.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I forgot the question.
No, you're answering like if like traveling gets old, and which you pretty much talked about. Did, yeah. Fun initially. Because I think a lot of times people talk about like to use your words, they make traveling or consulting sound sexy, which it can be, but after a while it's like, you know, to me, because I did the traveling bit for just a little bit. I used to go to Miami and stuff. I was like, oh, I'm going to Miami. I get whatever car I want. I get to stay in whatever hotel. I was like, all right. After a while, I was like, all right.
You're like, please let me go home.
Yeah, let me stay home.
Like, I was paying rent. I had a roommate, and I used to be like, man, you're lucky because I'm never here.
Yeah. Get the whole space by themselves, right?
Yeah. I'm like, it's expensive.
Yeah. And then when you traveled, were there things, I guess, that you learned that accelerated like your growth a bit, or did you feel like you could have did that back in San Fran, just in the same office?
I think the cultural difference of New York and SF is real. Okay. Like New York it drives a lot harder and faster than even SF does, and SF is actually fast too. Okay.
From the tech standpoint, or from like
just in general, like how the expectation is like higher.
Gotcha.
I think one is that. So there's that New York culture, and then that's what I was saying. And so Uniqlo is also a Japanese company. Yep. Being so it's owned by Fast Retailing, which owns like Theory and like so many other brands. Okay. Amazing company, love it. Okay. The Japanese culture is also very hardcore. Okay. So you have to get your shit together. Like there is nothing relaxing.
There's no coasting. Yeah.
There's no coasting. You know, and which to me is fine because it's like when you do that, you're growing so much faster. And I was young enough that I didn't burn out for those roles, for example, right? Like, so I think it's also because I was still like thirsty for like knowledge and all of these things that I was like, yeah, fine. But my work schedule was crazy. Like, I would meet with India at like 6 a.m. For like, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour. And then I'll get ready, go into the office, a typical 9 to 5. I'll come home. I have meetings again with India from like 9 to 10. Deployments at night are like,
it's a lot.
You know, and then we were replatforming like our backend. Okay. We're changing our backend. And so that itself was amazing. No. It was amazing. It was great.
I think she wanted to use a different word there.
Yeah. Anybody who's worked on replatforming knows how amazing it is.
Yeah. My wife's cousin, he's technically a scrum master, but they kind of have him in a product management role. And he works for all the big broadcasting companies like NBC, CBS and all that. Yeah. And like 1 o'clock, I came downstairs because he was with us for a little bit. And he's doing deployments. And I wake up, I go to sleep. I wake up again at like 5 or 6 in the morning. He's like, yeah, my team is still doing deployments. I'm like, Jesus. But he says that's a norm.
That's a norm, yeah.
I'm like, that's insane.
I have fallen asleep on, I'm not going to say which company, but I have fallen asleep in the middle of a deployment. Yeah. And it's
a lot. Yeah.
But it's, it's like
you paid what you sign up for.
Yeah, it's what you said. That's what he said when he was like, hey, don't do it for the money. He wasn't joking, you know? And I love product. Like, I don't think I can do any other tech role, maybe tech sales, because apparently I went for a role at Salesforce for a marketing role when I first was moving to SF. Okay. And I'm like, marketing, please, somebody give me a marketing role, you know? They came back with a sales offer. I was like, I didn't even interview. I think I had lunch with the recruiter. And I was like, what? I was like, no, I want a marketing role. She's like,
this might be a thing. This might be a thing.
I know. I think I'm missing my calling.
I mean, Mela, they need sales.
Yeah, they do. I do the sales actually.
Oh, you do? Okay, okay.
Sales and partnerships.
You're calling. That's great.
Yeah, so now I'm like, fine. Okay. I guess.
It's I guess.
Yeah. That was the funniest. But I don't remember interviewing. I had a meeting with a recruiter, like a lunch. She was like, oh, let's do lunch. I was like, okay, cool. But I think it's the go-getter stuff, right? Like, so
Right.
what happened was I still was not like, oh, Macy's is definitely going to work because you never know.
Right.
So I was still like applying and interviewing. And I went to like a market AMA, like American Marketing Association. I was like part of all these organizations.
Okay.
I went to that and I met a girl from like a different school that knew somebody that was in Salesforce in SF. I was like, bet, connect me.
Yeah.
She connected me. I told her and I'm interested. And then I was like, oh, I'm actually going to be in San Francisco in like 2 weeks. I wasn't even planning on being there. I was just like, yeah, like I had other interviews, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
We would love to meet you for coffee or whatever. She's like, let's do lunch. We did lunch. And then she came back with, she's like, well, we want to give you a sales role. And I was like, ma'am, Miss Ma'am. But I think that also, you know, again, it goes back to like, what is it? Opportunity meets preparation, right? Like I'm aligning myself. I'm not just sitting at home saying, oh, I want this. And I'm so shocked she said sales, but you know, if that's what she wants to do.
No, that's dope. That's dope. Okay. Unique Glow. When did you stop working at Unique Glow?
I think 17.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long was that?
I did a couple of years. I think I did a year and a half or something with them.
Okay. Why'd you stop after?
They closed the office. So they were like, move to New York, or you can take a package and leave.
Okay.
And I wasn't ready to be in New York.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot to ask from a relationship standpoint. How was that? Like, because you were dating a guy in San Fran.
Oh, it didn't work out.
Okay, all right. There's that.
Spoiler alert.
Well, I was gonna say because I'm married and being, you know, traveling is tough, but dating, like, I feel like that's even tougher if you're not settled, you know. Cause it's really difficult. So
funny enough, I traveled to New York so much that I was actually in a relationship with someone in New York.
Same time?
Not at the same time as the other guy. Why would you even do that? Why would you even do that? That's unnecessary.
I'm messing with her.
No, absolutely no. This was like, no.
She's clarifying.
Yeah, just what is the camera I'm supposed to look at?
Okay. All right. Okay, so Uniqlo didn't work out, and then what was next after that?
Then I moved to Atlanta.
Okay.
When I first moved here, Atlanta was hella slow.
Yeah.
It's still relatively slow.
In terms of like tech or
just everything.
Okay. Gotcha.
Like maybe it can also be because my friend's house is like the backyard is like greenery, and I'm like I feel like I'm in a cabin. Like I need to go. You know, but when somebody gives you free housing, you're like I'm gonna stay.
Yeah. Was she in tech? Your friend?
And she was not. No,
okay.
She was. She was in marketing. She was like a director of marketing, I think, or sales.
Okay.
One of the two. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you move here under that pretense of trying to get a marketing role, or?
No, so my brother and I had a company where he was like full-time working on it and stuff.
Okay.
It was to develop websites and apps.
Okay.
And I was playing the sales role because everybody loves me in sales.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, let me do this full-time with you as well. And
Okay.
my package coming out of SF was good enough that I could live off of it for like, at least I think it was like a year or so.
Oh wow! Okay, nice,
yeah,
nice. Okay.
That's the
Oh,
you take the
okay.
the SF package and then you move it to Atlanta. It goes a long way. Plus, I had free housing for a couple of months.
Yeah.
So it went a long way, thankfully. And then we were gonna make money off of what we we're doing anyways as well. So I was like, any chance I get, I always be like, yeah, let's try something else, you know. And so
let's talk about the package a little bit. Did you negotiate package or was it just?
I always negotiate.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you negotiate?
To be honest with you, I'm surprised I didn't negotiate this podcast. I'm not joking. I was like, this is my friend.
Oh my God.
I'm not joking.
Please don't try to negotiate this practice because she said this.
No, I'm not joking.
So
I negotiate everything.
How do you negotiate like a severance?
So I didn't negotiate a service.
Okay.
I did not negotiate back then.
Okay.
Mostly because I was so early in my career, I didn't think it could happen to me.
Okay.
Right. And I like now we've seen turnovers in tech so much that anybody, I don't care if you're taking a 6 months job, you should consider like what happens if I'm let go. Right. Under that has like if I'm fired, then I get it. But if it's you're giving me a package because the company's shutting down or whatever, that's a different story. And so now I encourage people to negotiate their severance.
Yeah.
And I do negotiate my severance now as well. But when I went into the company, I negotiate my salary, my PTO, my like if I get an amount for like upskilling.
Yeah.
What else? Like I didn't get stocks, but like you can negotiate your stocks and all of these things as well.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I think that's topic that doesn't really get discussed too much, like negotiating services. You're talking about the onboarding package, yeah. Everybody knows to negotiate that, but when a company lets you go for whatever reason, or downsizing, whatever it is, like no one really talks about it. It's like, all right, I took what I got, and you know, I exited. Which
I think it's really hard to negotiate severance unless you're at a certain level. Because it's like consistent payout usually. So if you work X number of years, then you'll get paid like your 3 months or your 2 months, whatever it is, right? Like maybe it's like 2 weeks per year or 1 month per year or something like that. It's like the typical.
Yeah.
So I think it's really hard. But if you're not gonna get your severance or negotiate your severance, I would encourage you to negotiate other things.
Gotcha.
You know, so like a signing bonus, mid-year bonus, performance-based bonus, like all of these things.
Yeah.
So at least even if like you don't have the severance, you're still getting money somehow. You call it whatever you want. Just give me the money, you know?
Yeah, there's a guy, Joe Tagua, he was on a pod. He was with Hulu, and he talked about how he negotiated. And he used his metrics based on like how he performed. So like you're saying, like unless you're at a certain level where if they're trying to give you a lower ball number because they say you did X, Y, Z, like of course, if they're like shutting down, that it's gonna be hard to negotiate. But if a company is like moving a different direction for whatever reason, you can say this was my value and this is kind of what I brought. I would like to be, you know, getting this amount. And I've never had to do it yet. Preferably I don't. So whoever's, you know, please.
I don't know, but you know, you say this right. Like I never wanted to be let go or you know whatever.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like that redirection is like also good because the package could. Well, you have a family. I don't have kids. You know, it's just me.
Yeah.
So like, I you know, I could get by like so much less than, you know, my whatever is. And so it can also give you an opportunity, like you're getting a lump sum of money that can give you, if you
redirect
you can redirect it. Like, you know, starting Mela, I took a package when I left my last role.
Yeah.
You know, and so that helped me for a while. But not so much right now, guys. Please download Mela Ai so that I can make money. Thank you. But it might help you. It might, like for you, it might be hard but also if your wife has a good amount of income, then you can take that chunk and you guys can invest it somewhere else. You know.
Yep. Definitely. So let's talk about.
This is not financial advice.
Literally, please blame her if you know you take her advice and it doesn't work out.
But if you want to call me,
her. What do you call it? All her social media handles would be on the pod where we're watching this. I usually give this at the end, but I'm just giving this in between now. Okay, let's talk about Mela Ai. So we kind of connected, I think, off of Mela Ai. Initially, I think I found your handle somehow because you were connected with Arinze, who's on the pod.
Oh, yeah. Terrible person.
Oh my, Renze, bro! I didn't say this.
No, he knows. He knows. I can tell him myself. No, he's good people. This, but, he keeps winning all these like awards. Do you notice that? I'm like, relax. Give it to somebody else for a while. He's like 4 years in a row. You've only been there 4 years. Like my guy. You lose a little.
Yeah,
he refused to lose.
Sharp guy. And I knew because he's around. Or she's around Arinze that she's a good person. Well, semi good person.
Who's a good person? Me?
Yeah, semi.
Oh, because we're friends.
Yeah. So I was like,
no, I have really smart friends. I'm not even gonna lie. Like for real. I look. Sometimes I'd be like, damn, I gotta get my shit together, huh, guys? Like I love it though. They motivate me. Yeah. Like I love my circle.
It's the good circle. Yeah, that counts a lot. And that's how I found you. And because of that. I was like, if she's building a startup, I wonder what kind of took her from, and I know a lot of founders go through this, but from working the 9 to 5 general and then now moving to something that's unsure, and how is that journey? Yeah. So let's talk a bit about Mela Ai. How was that journey like starting it up?
Mela Ai is, I was gonna say my baby, but I don't say that anymore because I don't want that level of attachment. I want distance. I need space.
Yeah.
So Mela, actually, the way I started, so I was working, I was a group product manager at this point, and during that time, I actually burned out, and I needed to take I call it burnout. I'm sure my medical team would call it something else. It's a team.
Yeah.
Medical people that got me. Yeah, it's a team. Because you need to make sure, burnout is not, I laugh, but like it's such a serious thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
On your body, on your mind, on your psyche, on your soul, perhaps,
Yeah.
And when I went through that, I remember like going to a doctor and I'm like, I just need like a week off. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me, I remember my doctor telling me like, you need to take at least 6 weeks off. And I'm literally telling the doctor, I swear to you, I'm like, okay. So I'm like crying, right? Because I'm like, just like burnt. Yeah. So I'm like, no, please, like, no, I don't think 6, like, we don't need 6 weeks. I'm like, I just need maybe 2. I was like, just say 2. Like 6 is a great, I'm like negotiating with her, telling her like, no, you're being dramatic, Miss Ma'am.
I'm the doctor.
Yeah, I'm like, I know that you're the doctor here, but like, because it's prior to my time off from that, prior to that, I've only been off without working for 18 days since I was 14.
18 days?
18 days is the longest I ever went without either school or work.
Okay. Wow.
So for like, I'm not
so
gonna.
That's like 2.5 weeks almost, right?
Yeah, like ever. So I took time off sabbatical like in 2023.
Yeah.
Like started in 2022, but in 2023 for.
Yeah.
So mind you, all these years, I'm not gonna tell you how many years they are, but they're it's a lot of years.
Yeah.
I never saw that that's a problem. I saw like I wore that as a badge, thinking like, look how hardworking I am.
Yeah.
Look how dedicated I am. Look how my resume is like this. Look how my benefit packages. Look, I was just like, no, look how great I am. Like, you guys are missing it. And the whole time I'm moving here as a human deteriorating.
Yeah.
What
about your parents? Did you see that in your parents?
Oh yeah, they're hard workers. Okay. Like everybody in my family is.
Yeah.
So to me, it wasn't an outlier.
Right.
Like,
it's just you doing the norm.
You're just doing the norm. In an African household, there's no such thing as couch potato. I wish you would sit on the couch.
Right.
Like, you don't even rest. Like when you're sitting, literally watching TV, it's like, what are you doing? You need to get up and do this, and you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like that's the mentality. I grew up very like disciplined, very hardworking household. Very like, you have a goal, you do it. Like, it's weird to me when you have a goal and you don't. You can see in my face. I'm not. It's like really weird to me when you're like, I want to do something, but then they don't.
Yeah.
I just be looking at them like, that is so weird.
Yeah. All throughout your posts, I think you have something that says like something about a planet. Do it.
Just do it. Yeah.
Just do it. Yeah.
So when so I grew up like that, but I think I like overdid it. I think being a workaholic now, I equate that as like. There's something else also is going on. I don't think workaholic is. It's just like just like a alcoholic is something. It comes from somewhere else, right? Like it's not its true form, right? And so I don't know how I can say that in English, but I wish I can say this in Amharic.
I think you're saying that. I think it's a symptom of something bigger. Like
it
comes from somewhere else where you got to figure out what the root cause is.
Exactly.
And I agree with you. I think. I'm the same way. I work like crazy. My mom is a nurse. That's why, I go back to like immigrant parents. Like my mom, like she'll work 2 to 3 jobs. Like, and you know how nurses, like nurses, they work. Nurses are like, you're a job where you can coast, like some of these remote guys who are working, other jobs, whatever it is. But it's like when you're working as a nurse, you're literally on your feet, like moving left and right. And, you got to make sure you're thinking critically too, because you're giving medications, things like that. So seeing that, I was like, that's the norm.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
But I also saw how unhealthy it was for her because when she crashed, her body literally crashed.
Yeah.
And even now to this day, my mom's still trying to work 2 jobs. I'm like, Mom, just chill.
You don't even have to.
Yeah.
Those are it's my, our parents are really the problem.
Yeah. I'm like, you're the one that's causing me to. And the weird thing is where it's so ironic. Well, it's ironic or hypocritical. She's like, stop working so much.
Oh yeah, my mom does the same thing.
I'm like, what do you mean? You're doing the same thing.
Yeah, she's like, you're in meetings all day. Cancel some of them. First of all, I can't.
Right.
She's like, you need to take a break. Do I need to take a break?
Exactly. Yeah.
Where do you think I got this from?
Yeah. When my mom tells me, I'm like, come on now. Like, she'll call me like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm just getting off work. I'm like, Mom, do you know what time it is?
Yeah.
You're like 60 something years old. Like, come on. But, it is a thing in, I think the African culture where we got to do better.
We definitely, I think I think it's great to talk about like the tech and the package and like all of these things, the money and all of the, I think that's great. But like, we're humans first, and it's really easy to forget that part of you.
Right.
And that's what happened to me, is that I forgot the rest of my existence outside of the work version of me.
Yeah. Well, it even started because I mean, on the pod, I was like, "Tell me a bit about yourself outside of work." You're like, well, I do this. I was like,
she doesn't quit. She does not quit.
But I think that's
I can tell you about myself.
But that's a thing I think within our culture, and many others, do the same thing, ethnic groups as well. But like, we're so like trained on who we are, based upon what we do. Yeah, that's hey, can you tell me about yourself? It's like, oh yeah, I work this. I'm an engineer. I'm a doctor. I'm all this. Like, but that's what you do.
That's not who you are.
That's not who you are. Yeah, and it's hard for us to kind of escape that. You know. So you gotta be intentional about it.
I remember when I went to the doctor, and the doctor tells me at least 6 weeks. I negotiate with her to not take 6 weeks. Looking back now, I'm like, my God, you needed to take more than 6 weeks. So I negotiate with her. Yeah. And then she was like, no, I'm literally the doctor. Like, no, And I was like, okay, cool. So I like go back to work. Yeah. I'm trying to figure it out because I have to do a leave. And I'm like, okay, like what is, all of these things. And I can't get too into the details because I think like I don't know how much I can share openly. Okay. But I just remember being on a call with my manager, my like direct manager, and she was telling me, she was like, yeah, like just let me know about the paperwork. So, like I don't remember what it was, but I just started like literally saying, and I don't know if she heard it or I was just like but I literally remember thinking like, who am I outside of this? Yeah. And it like, I know it sounds like it's a cliche and like you see it in a movie and like this person or their whole life was work and then, but I literally was like, who am I? Like literally, who am I outside of this, you know? Yep. And that is like, that just kickstarted everything.
Yeah. I know many people who still struggle with that. Like figuring out who they are. Weird sort of like transition slash bring in, but I was watching Pop the Balloon, and this is when,
please,
we were talking about it, right?
Bring it in. How
is this even like related? So I was watching Pop the Balloon, and
I watched it for the first time this week, by the way.
Oh, really?
I've never watched it.
I'm like so high strung on that thing, but it's like I love like human relationships, like how like people interact. And there's this one guy, he's a former, I guess, NBA player or whatever. I think he played like one season because the internet will find out everything about
and they will. And that's why I'm scared to talk right now.
Like, he played like 5 minutes and he averaged like 2 points or something like that. And but that's all he talked about is like who he was, not even like who he is now, like who he was. And because that was all his identity was, like I was a former NBA player, and that's what he led with. Yeah. And even like through like the catch up is one thing that she does on our Arlette does on our episodes, like that's like all he kept leading was like, well, she liked me because this, or she wanted this expectation. I'm like, it's sad because it's not just him, but a lot of us, we are so tied into like who we are, especially how much we make too as well, which is a big thing in African culture. Yeah. How much you make is like what you identify as far as success.
And your worth is tied to it. Your worth is like, I think, and I'm not gonna pretend like I wasn't that person. You know what I mean? It's like half the time, was it like...
I have to battle it myself.
Yeah. Like, was it the ego boost or was it the actual like financial relative independence or, freedom or whatever? Like you know what I mean? Yeah. And so I had to do a lot of work, and not just about the career part, but like everything in my life that I never, mind you, I'm the type of person that believed in therapy, went to therapy prior to this because, I'm just hopping cities and trying to make, so there's a lot of stuff happening that I need to, but this was like the biggest where I had to like sit down and really work through stuff from like my inner child when I was 5 type of stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah.
No, that's good. Because I mean, you're even talking about, because I think a lot of people, they mix the idea that going to therapy is going to solve everything, and they forget that sometimes it's not just that. You're going to have to sit with yourself for a bit and then really think outside of like, all the sessions that you've had, like what are areas that not really changed,
Yeah, because those 45 1-hour session, whether if it's per week, per month, whatever you do, it's not gonna solve it. Exactly. Like there's a lot of the number of books that I read, like the amount of like YouTube videos that I watched, the amount of journaling that I've done, and then I went into like because when you're burning out, you also have anxiety and depression, and so now you're like being given like drugs and stuff,
Yep.
you know, and I'm like, I don't know about this.
Yeah, start spiraling.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know about this part, but let's
Yeah.
try, you know, I can only say so much about certain things, but I will say there are a lot of herbs that also helps with the mind, calming your mind and helping you with stress and all of these. So I learned so much about the human version of me outside of work as part of this like
That's good.
year. You know, I call it my eat, pray, love journey. Minus the love, even though I loved maybe myself more in the process, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe that's the love, because I think in the movie she meets a guy or something. I forgot. Do you remember the movie
Eat, pray, love? No,
Yeah.
no.
You real African. For all the people that have been here a long time. So it's a relatively similar concept. This lady, I believe she like burns out or gets fired or something from her work.
Okay.
And then she hops around the world and like literally eat, pray, love. Like that's her thing. She's trying to, like she went to Italy to eat all the amazing pasta, which I did.
I'll put it on my list. Oh yeah, I've seen the post that you have.
Yeah.
The little...
what is that?
You got some on your channel, like some old school thing that you got on your Instagram.
What?
Like it's like an old school song or something like that.
Oh.
But it's one of your posts.
Yeah.
But and the lady that did the pod before, traveling was also her thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think to me, I like seeing that outside of like just people posting about tech. Like you have an identity outside of tech. Just like me, I don't post all the time just about like you know, doing technology and building solutions and all that. Like there's something else that's outside of you. Yeah. And people want to see that. You know, at least I do. I don't know if that's what the
I don't know what the internet.
I don't know what the algorithm wants to see. But
I mean, quite frankly, I don't care what the internet wants to see. I think that's the thing now. I'm like, I post because I have to post for Mela. I was telling somebody, I'm like, I may not even be on social media if it wasn't for Mela.
But your personality comes out too. I think a lot of times people don't like show themselves and who they are through work. It's just like this robotic figure that all they do is this. It's like, all right, that's cool. You're smart in this area and you do this as far as a job, but like, who are you? You know, even in your job, there's a human behind that, you know, that role that you're serving. So yeah. Cool. All right. So Mela is doing.
So Mela is okay. So in that journey, I learned all these things. So then what I come out of this is identifying that like life is more than your wealth pillar. So so it's not all about your resume. It's not all about your school. It's not about money. Then it's like, what else is there? You know, then I had to look at like my relationships, my relationship with myself, with my family, with my friends. Who needs to stay? Who needs to go? and where do I need to leave from? You know, and right. And so like there's that, and then there's the health part, my mind, my body, like, you know, like, you know, so many things that go into health, right? Fun. Am I enjoying myself? Like, am I actually having, like, that's the part that we miss. You know, when you become an adult, you get into like, I have so much thing to do. Even if you focus on, let's say, your relationship with your wife and kids, right? And like your health, which you should outside of wealth, right? Like all three things, you know, faith. Maybe most people are like, they're religious enough, they go to church or whatever your thing is, right? Like they do that. But we forget fun.
There's individual. There's that individual standpoint as well. Like I, one thing we've incorporated, and you guys don't have to take this out, but like, I have like a weekly like day where like I get to go do whatever. I can go eat out.
I'm noticing that with a lot of married couples nowadays.
Like because you get your own day to kind of just like relax, do whatever it is. Because you're your own individual.
Exactly.
Like there's still things about yourself that you want to continue to do and things that you like. And I may not necessarily like, or my wife may not necessarily like, but for me it's just kind of driving around, just kind of cruising and just I go to random places.
Wasting gas in this economy.
Yeah, I waste gas.
I can see why your wife doesn't like it.
But for me it's just driving and just kind of just exploring just the random areas, but it brings me so much peace and so much joy. And then for her it's just like kind of just relaxing. Like she literally can just go to sleep and just like that's her thing. You know, or sometimes going to get her nails done or whatever it is and just talking to her friends. Like but I think even in relationships, like it's important for folks to remember that. And especially I think as well when you're in your dating phase. I haven't been dating in a long time, but for those, this again, it's not dating advice, but just saying, I think it's important that, you know, if you're in the dating phase that you don't forget who you are. Because that happens a lot.
In any phase, I think in any phase, you know, funny enough, like obviously when you're married and you have kids and stuff, you can lose yourself, but people lose themselves in their job outside of a relationship, you know? And so that's kind of how Mela came about. It's like, I learned that in my, year or so journey, taking sabbatical and like recovering from burnout, which is an amazing thing to be able to say honestly out loud. And so the concept of Mela came from that. And so what Mela does is it's an AI life coach and community app. And we focus on not we necessarily, but Mela focuses on those 5 pillars with you.
Okay.
So she helps you figure out like what is your goal when it comes to your health, your wealth, your relationship, fun, and faith side of your pillars. And then she helps you achieve that, whatever that may look like.
Okay.
So continuously, you can continuously chat with her. She will monitor like where you are and help you come up with like steps you need to take and stuff.
Okay.
It's a good way to keep yourself accountable. So our concept is do those things and work with Mela to master yourself.
Okay.
And then master your like the community aspects of you as well, right?
Gotcha.
Like your relationship with others and build a community around you with like-minded people.
Okay. Where does the name come from, Mela?
Mela means solution in Amharic.
Solution?
Solution, yeah.
Gotcha.
So this is like the solution for lack of balance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. And then you have a co-founder?
I do, yes.
Okay. You want to tell us about them, or is it a PI?
No, everything is PI. So her name is also Lily.
Okay.
So I'm Lily A. She's Lily T. I think, what else can I share about her? What else will she allow me to share? I'm like, let me call her. Are you okay with this? You met her.
Yeah, I met her.
Yeah, you met her. Yeah. She's amazing. Like, it's so funny because there are a couple of text messages where she's like, I will block your access if you don't take time off, and so I was forced to take
That's good. I like that.
Yeah. So I think we're a really good balance,
That's good.
Because I'm like, her execution skills, there's no way we could do Mela without having someone like that in-house, And so I focus more on like the vision and the strategy, and then I focus on product and sales and marketing.
Okay.
She works with the developers. Okay. She does some dev work as well herself.
Is she technical?
She's not a coder by trade, but she has learned so much in the last year or so of working together.
Gotcha.
That like sometimes she says stuff and I'd be like, why? I don't know. I'm like, you upskilled too fast. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But she's the one that pretty much handles the relationship with the developers, and actually like I will say, as far as I know, she is a developer. Okay. But I don't think she would allow me to title her that. Gotcha. Because we still bring in developers.
Okay. Yeah. How big is the team?
Right now we are, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 6. 6. So the full time is me and her, and then we have 2 interns, 3 interns. Okay. The 3 interns are like for like I think 3 to 6 months or so. Gotcha. So her and I, and then we brought in a dev shop to help with a couple of stuff. Okay. And then we have 1 developer that's like part-time, but he's core with the team. Gotcha.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Where do you see Mela in next, I guess, 2 to 5 years?
Mm-hmm. In 2 to 5 years, I don't know if it's where do I see Mela. I don't know about like where do I see Mela. What I see is a way that people can live a balanced life. That's what I see. Okay. So we have the app out now, and full transparency, my goal is to say, is the way we're solving like lack of balance correct? Okay. Right. And so it's hard to say like in 5 years I would want millions and millions of people using it and But really what I want is in 5 years I build something that allow people to live a balanced life. Okay. Right. Like, is this the current features? I don't know. Is this the current Mela version? I'm not sure. You know, who knows what's gonna be. Okay. But what I do know is like we're committed to helping people live a balanced life, and we strongly believe Mela is the answer.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's good. Okay. What features are you working on now? If you can't talk about it.
I'm like, what can I talk about? I can say enhancements to the current experience. So right now, if you I think you joined the app, but like for anybody who hasn't, when you join the app, you go through like create an account, and then you go through some kind of let's get personal questionnaire to understand your Mela, to understand you and stuff. Then you can go into goal setting. Okay. Or you can go into the chat experience. We also have an event section. So one of the events that we were a panelist on, that was also a Mela event, for example. And so super high level, that's the experience. You can come in and create, goals as part of your 5 pillars. You can chat with Mela to, again, keep you accountable and all of these things. You can go to events. The events are free if you remember, if you have the app, So we want to improve the current experience before we bring in any additional new features.
Gotcha.
So I think for me, it's like I want to further personalize the AI experience. What else? That would be like the biggest thing. I want to like infuse even more AI into the experience so the user does less manual work in order to get alignment like sooner than later.
Okay.
And then for the events, I want to do more partnerships with different organizations that are in alignment with one of those 5 pillars.
Okay.
So, for example, we partnered on an event because we kind of have like as part of the wealth pillar, what you're doing from a job perspective in this podcast, it made sense.
Yeah.
We're looking to partner with people who are focused on the health side of the stuff, the what else is there? The relationship side of stuff. Like, how do we once you know yourself, how can we connect you with other people who are also on the path of achieving similar goals? So you're not doing this by yourself, right?
Okay.
Like, so you want to be fit and that's part of your goal. Okay. Like maybe you join our run club with, Heels for Atlanta, which we don't have a partnership on, but if they wanted to. So
okay, so I see a partnership with Pop the Balloon coming soon. Okay,
I don't know about Pop the Balloon. I don't know about that. Like that is it's I don't know. I have a personal opinion on that.
Yeah, no worries.
And personally, I don't know. Some of those dating shows, I guess. Okay, we can talk about it, but I just have a question mark on like the way we're handling them, because I think we're forgetting that it's actually impacting our society. Like it's not all fun and jokes, because these are real humans that are watching. I watched that and like somebody popped and then I think they asked her and she was like, oh, his shoes. And I was like, this is where we are.
It gets really crazy on there. But like you said, I think part of it is, which is why I love the idea of like Mela Ai, like people really be intentional about like not just their, from a financial aspect, but like holistically, like when you think about your relationships and being intentional about who you're talking to and how you're talking to that individual, and about yourself, like how you're treating yourself, from a planning standpoint, like achieving your goals. What does that look like? Whether it's spiritually, like really being intentional about that. And one thing we talked about the pod before this, I think it was like 2 pods, where there's a lady named Linda something. She's in Dubai. She has this nice podcast, but her guest was saying that people aren't afraid of failing. They're afraid of seeing other people seeing them fail. With apps and things like that, where you don't have to worry about that. It takes away that risk and that sort of like, concern that, you're going to look bad in front of XYZ, because Mela, depending on how your algorithm is built, is not going to judge you. Like, oh, you clown. What are you doing? You're terrible.
She's not going to say you're a clown, but she's also not like, I think one of the things I keep getting is like, oh, but like I can talk to ChatGPT, and I'm like, you can't talk to ChatGPT. I'm not saying that there are not other AI products you can talk to, but Mela considers who you are holistically. It's not just about your conversation. Like you have to also intentionally do the work. Do you know what I mean? And so one, it's that, and then 2. She's not, I feel like ChatGPT lately has been like, yeah, no, that's totally fine, Lily. And I'm like, murder is fine? Like, what is
keeping accountable. Gotcha.
And so she's not just going to be like, oh yeah, like that's cool. Like, no, it's if it's not cool, then she's going to tell you it's not cool. She's going to, she's not going to sugarcoat it. There's also some level of like foreignness to her, because we tend to be very direct and very like, no, like you're not doing it right.
But I think it's a good thing, and it's also like not a bad thing, but it's different, because from a people perspective, like people fear other people's opinions, whereas from robots or bots, whichever way you want to think about it, or AI, it's different, because you don't worry about that sort of like judgment or anything like that. 100%. So even if Mela is like a little bit reprimanding, it's like you're still like, okay, I can take this, and I don't know what that intrinsic thing is, but that's just, I think, how people are functioning at this stage. Maybe in the future they'll be like, why is this bot judging me? I don't know, but I think now, I think what you're building is it's really good.
Thank you. I'm excited to get like feedback from people and see if this is like the right solution, and then just like work on that. It's kind of too late. It's like out in the world, so we'll see.
You guys are completely self-funded, right?
Yep. Okay. Bootstrapped everything.
Okay.
That's why I need y'all to download it. My personal runway is very short.
Is there plans to like? Would you do pre-seed and all the other jazz?
Yeah, we're gonna fundraise this year. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
We're gonna go for it. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'll give $5 if I have it. We'll
$5
see.
is crazy. I can't even buy lunch with $5.
If I have it, bro. But we'll see. But no, I'm excited for
Are you an
all.
angel?
Huh?
Are you an angel investor?
I do have syndicates, but yeah, we'll think about it. I generally don't like her, but
you don't have to like
generally
me.
don't like her, but I kind of like the idea a little bit. But we'll see where it goes, man.
It's never about the founder. Actually, it's all about the founder. It's all about. I'm a great salesperson. Remember?
But you don't embrace it.
I am now. I have no choice. The way I see it, if Salesforce gave me a job without an interview. I should put an asterisk there because now I'm like, let me go back and see if I did do an interview.
But yeah, I'm really proud of you. You're doing really good.
Yeah, well, you guys, you said proud. Ew.
Yeah. But if people wanted to get in touch with you, like find out more about Mela or just who you are, how can they get in touch with you?
My name is what my social handles are. So at Lily Andemariam everywhere. Where else? And then more importantly for Mela, so it's Mela Ai, MELAAI, in the app stores. And then our social media handle for Mela is How I Mela.
Okay.
So it's like how I live a balanced life, and like that's the concept. So How I Mela, follow us. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I always wondered where you got that from, the handle. Okay.
That's how you Mela. You gotta. The goal is like we want to build a community of people that are intentional about living a balanced life, and that's how they show it. It's like, hey, this is how I'm Mela. Like this is how I'm living a balanced life.
Gotcha. That's dope. That's dope. So if any of you forget how to spell Lily's last name, because I definitely did, we'll have her social media handles at the bottom of wherever you're watching this: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, wherever we'll have this on there. Lily, thank you so much for being on the pod. We're also going to have a whiteboard session, which is separate to this episode. So if you're looking out for that, be on the lookout for that, I should say. We'll have that as well. I'm not quite sure yet what we're going to talk about, but definitely stay tuned because we'll have some good nuggets on there. If you have any additional questions for myself or Lily, hit us up at africansinTechnology@gmail.com. Again, it's africansinTechnology@gmail.com. My name is Sar Levy. This Africans in Tech. We're building bridges and shaping futures in tech. All right, fam.